You're welcome back. You're still watching Business Incorporated on Channels Television. Angola's National Agency of Petroleum, Gas and Biofuels, ANPG, along with French oil and gas supermajor Totalenergies and its partners, have made a final investment decision of $850 million for the launch of the CLOV Clough 3 project in Block 17 offshore Angola. What does this mean for the economy? And what can we expect? How can we expect it to impact the oil and gas landscape in that country? We have Matt Kindiga now joining us for that conversation. Good afternoon, Matt.
Thanks for having me on the show today.
Great. So what does this investment in the oil industry tell us about Angola's growth outlook?
Yeah, certainly. So the Total announcement and investment into Angola's oil industry reflects a broader trend of stronger investment into oil and gas in the country and also across sub-Saharan Africa. This is very much in response to booming global oil demand and very high global oil prices. But it also illustrates how Angola has become an increasingly attractive country for investment, especially large investment in the extractive industries. For example, in recent months, De Beers, the big mining company, has invested or announced investments into diamond mines in the north of the country, and it has cited the country's improving business environment and operating landscape as one of the reasons. So certainly from our view, our perspective, the country is becoming more attractive from an investment perspective, and this does support the growth outlook, especially in the medium to long term. Many of our multinational clients that we represent and advise are increasingly excited about the prospects that Angola offers in terms of growth. But in terms of the short term, so over the next 12 to 18 months, the story is still really about oil and Angola's existing oil reserves and production. Because of very high global oil prices, we've actually revised up our growth forecast for Angola in terms of GDP growth for this year from about 2.2% to 3.4%. So short-term prospects are improving, but so are long-term prospects as a result of higher investment in the economy.
That's a lot of improvement, 2.2 to 3.45%. I wish that was Nigeria. But their currency, the kwanza, has performed well against the dollar. Do you see this as a continuing trend?
Yeah, so the kwanza has been amongst the strongest performers against the dollar year to date. So it appreciated from about 650 per dollar to around about 400 per dollar at the end of last month. This is very much a result of very strong oil exports, resulting in stronger forex revenues into the country, but also these investments that we're seeing into the extractives industry. We are seeing increasing amounts of foreign direct and portfolio investment into Angola. In terms of the outlook, so we do expect the kwanza to remain relatively stable this year. There is likely to be some downward pressure, however. So at the moment, the kwanza has lost value over the last couple of weeks, and we probably are going to see some further losses through the end of this year. And this is because of tighter monetary policy and weaker global economic sentiment, especially in the US and the Eurozone. But because of very strong oil revenues, which will persist well into 2023, we don't see a collapse in the currency. In fact, we don't expect the kwanza to exceed 450 per dollar towards the end of this year. So a relatively stable outlook for the currency. And crucially, this means that foreign currency access, which has plagued many businesses in Angola over the last few years, is likely to continue to improve. So that's really a positive for the business landscape.
Well, we do know that political activities sometimes mess up some economic equations, and this is their election year. Doesn't that have isn't it a driving factor?
Yes, so the election has been an important driving factor in the sense that it has encouraged the ruling MPLA to accelerate the pace of economic reform. So over the last couple of years, we have seen increasingly ambitious economic reforms and liberalization taking place. We're probably going to continue to see this. So over the next couple of months, ahead of the election in August, we're going to see more anti-corruption drives announced, more privatization of state industries. But we're also probably going to see the government making the most of its improved oil revenues by increasing handouts to individuals to alleviate poverty and improve food security. So this could actually provide a bit of a short-term boost to the economy in terms of consumption. But we are increasingly concerned about rising political repression in Angola. This could affect some investor sentiment in the market. It could cause a bit of a wobble, especially in the short term. And if this is matched with unrest before or after the election, you could see further downward pressure on the kwanza and some further delays by investors into the market. But in terms of the longer term outlook, so the election, we expect the MPLA to win, but with a diminished majority in parliament. And as a result, we're probably going to see more or less a continuation of economic policy, but the pace of economic reform will likely slow over the next couple of years.
Yeah, as usual, those political activities normally just mess up plans, the economic plans. Well, thank you so much, Matt Kindiger, practice leader, SSA Frontier View. Thank you so much and enjoy your weekend.
Thank you. You too.